And we're live. Welcome back for another stream. Good morning all, or good afternoon, depending on where you're tuned in from around the world this morning or afternoon. Welcome back for the Gameweek 12 deadline. I've made 2 transfers already, so I'll talk all about that. Thank you all for being here on this Saturday morning. How are you today? Hope you're doing well. Get your questions in the chat. I'll do my best to answer as many as possible. Sorry if I miss any, as always. And thank you all for the birthday messages in the chat. Just passed the 3-year anniversary since starting the channel as well. So an exciting month. So welcome to the stream. Razvan, Sean, Marcus, Rocket, Virtual, Valentine, Devil, Tom is my name, Brendan, JP, and everyone else in the chat. Welcome to the stream. How are we doing today? I'm on Haaland captain still. I haven't moved it off him all week. I've got a gut feeling about Haaland, but I know Salah's probably the popular one, but it does feel like a week where there's a lot of good captain options. So we'll talk all about that. We'll do some polls. We've got the news roundup to run through. We'll look at stuff like the scout selection, kings of the game week. We've got the Hall mini game that we normally play on these streams, the most transfer players. So lots to unpack as always. And we're going to attempt a 2-hour stream today. I'm not much of a morning person, so I've got my two tea bag cup of tea, so we'll power on through. Thank you very much, Brendan, Vader, and everyone else for the birthday message. And thanks, Johnny, for the super chat, the £10. He says, happy birthday, Oscar. Thank you very much, Johnny. Thanks for the super chat as well. Hope you have a good game week and see a massive green arrow. So, yeah, welcome to the stream. I'm actually going to miss a lot of the action today because I'm going into London to celebrate with my friends, so I'll only see the early kickoff today. Who's playing actually? Who's playing this afternoon? Are there any good games on at 3 o'clock or later? Am I missing Arsenal today? Thanks very much, Ahmed, and I want goals, and Jay, and AB, and Kalom. Kieran asked about Trippier captain. What do you guys think the Newcastle back four is going to be this game week with Bernard injured? Do you think it's going to be Hall and left back, Trippier right back, or do you think we'll see Trippier left back and Livramento right back? What do you think the Newcastle back four is going to be? We know Lascelles and Cher will play in centre back. So really the question is, if Trippier plays left back, then is he still a good captain option, or is he a good captain option? Period. I'm not so sure. Thanks very much, Mohit. He says, Maddison to Bowen, no money for Saka. Yeah, I think that's a great move. If I had Maddison and I couldn't afford Saka, then I would be going to Bowen, 100%. Yeah, good move, Mohit. I would do that as well. MEFC says, happy birthday for many more FPL blanks. Better not be, I swear to God, if we have another 22-point game week. Last game it was horrendous. I mean, there was this guy, he scored 1 point last week. This has got to be an all-time record. Did you guys see this? Like, he goes into the game week and he's... Let me turn the music down a bit. He goes into the game week and he's got Haaland captain, like, great. He's got... I suppose he had Erdegaard, he was a doubt. Rashford obviously missed out, that was unexpected. He does have Isak. Romero and Adogi, -8 between them. And he finishes the game week on 1 point. It was just the worst game week of all time, so I think we'll have a much better game week this week. That's the crazy thing about FPL, by the way. You can have a game week like that, where your team scores 22 points. You could roll, and the next week you score 100 points. I remember it happened last season. Last season there was a week where I had a pretty crap game week. I got something like 32 points, and then the next week I got 132. So 100 points difference with the same team. Morning, Marcus. How we doing? Welcome to the stream. I'm going to turn the heating on. It's actually freezing in here. Let's turn it up. 21 degrees. 22 degrees. Bang. If he didn't captain Haaland, I swear it'd be a genius anti-FPL manager. I bet you the anti-FPL lot had a bad game week. When you look at the team of the week last week, it was just shocking. It was the top scoring team of the week all season, but in the lowest scoring week on average. Turn up to 11. Alvarez to Højlund. I don't know if I'd sell Alvarez. I know he's had a couple of blanks in a row, but I don't know if I'd make that move. It's a little bit punty. He's playing well in the Champions League, but I think he's still yet to score in the league, so I don't know if I would do that move personally. I think Alvarez is probably a hold. Stan says, thanks for everything you do, mate. Always quality content, and happy birthday. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, Stan. Appreciate that very much. Thanks for the support. That means a lot. Thank you. Starting Bumo or Digne? I think you have to just start in Bumo in any fixture. He's playing so good right now. He's above Salah this season for non-penalty expected goal involvement, which shows just how good he's actually been. And of course, he's on penalties, he's on set pieces. There's so many routes to points with Mbumo, so I think you have to play him in any fixture. And I think he's fine as a transfer this week, despite the 2 tough games. Personally, I'm looking at buying Mbumo game week 14 in place of Diaby. Diaby does have Bournemouth that week, so it's not ideal, but Mbumo's home to Luton, so that's my loose thinking at the moment. Flanny says, Captain Haaland, sniff, smells a coward here. What do you mean smells a coward? I think Haaland's been overlooked. Like, he had the 1 pointer last week, and I think everyone's suddenly thinking, oh, he got 1 point last week. I think it's fair to say, if Haaland hadn't gone off injured, he would have very likely have been involved in the goals. Like, they scored a further 3 goals without Haaland. What would the scoreline have been if he'd played the 90? Which probably would have happened. John says, good morning, Oscar. Good morning, Flandy. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, John. Hope you're well. Maybe we'll do an early captain poll, because I'm interested to know if anyone else is on Haaland. Or I know Salah's the more popular pick, but Saka's a great option. We'll talk about him as well, whether he starts or not. Official says, hey, bro, who should I replace Maddison with? Martinelli, Trossard, or Bowen? I don't have enough for Saka. I wouldn't go Trossard. Nketiah's in training, so there's a chance Nketiah starts and Trossard doesn't. So Martinelli or Bowen, basically. I'd probably go Bowen, but I think Martinelli's fine. Martinelli hasn't quite got going yet, so it's a little bit of like an early move. If he hits some form, like, you're laughing, but I think Bowen's probably the one there. Assad says, do the poll. Okay, let's do a live captain poll, see what everyone's latest thinking is. Who is your captain for game week 12? Problem is, which options do we have? Haaland, Salah, Saka and other? I mean, but you could easily have Watkins. You could easily have... who else? Son, maybe? So if you vote for other on this poll, let us know in the chat who your other is. Quite a lot of Watkins captainers. Thanks, Bora. Appreciate that. Thank you. Morning, Sean. How we doing? Raz fans on Bowen captain. Dan Smith, Bruno. Yeah, Bruno's a good option. Matoma even. Watkins, Martinelli. Noctan Booley's on Hoyland captain. Gordon captain. That is a bit punty. We might see Gordon playing striker, to be fair. So that's perhaps a bit fortunate that that's fallen that way as a Gordon owner. Might not necessarily be a good thing, but it could be. Oh, 1 sec, Flandy. Don't think I did miss any. Mohit was going Maddison to Bowen. I agree with that. I did officials one. Yeah, if I was selling Maddison, it'd be Bowen this week, but Martinelli's fine as well, if you've got a gut feeling. The problem is Nketiah. When Nketiah plays, it's generally not good for Martinelli and Saka. Nketiah has been seen in training, so it really depends whether Nketiah or Trossard starts. Trossard's, I talked about it in this week's videos, Trossard's got more of a likeness to Jesus, and he's good at bringing other players into the game, whereas Nketiah is a bit more of a traditional out-and-out striker. A greedy player, which is great for FPL in terms of if you own Nketiah, but not so good if you own Martinelli or Saka. As we saw a couple of game weeks back, Nketiah getting the hat-trick. Like, if Jesus was starting that one, it could have been Saka or Martinelli that hauled. Danny Hill, why is Saka on a 75% play? What happened? In the Champions League, he went up for a challenge and he landed a bit awkwardly. And he hobbled off, basically. He was limping off as he went. And this was... We'll do the news roundup and we can actually talk about Saka and everything that happened there. So first of all, as I said, Nketiah has been seen in training, and Saka and Ødegaard haven't been seen in training. So Arteta was asked in his press conference yesterday about Saka, and he said he didn't train yesterday. Let's see if he can make it tomorrow. Now, I don't know if players often train right after a Champions League game, so that could just be Arteta being a bit of a fraud and, you know, being careful with his words. But Miss Molina, who happened to be at the hotel, caught a video of the team, and Saka was there. He wasn't hobbling. He looked fine. He had a smile on his face. So make of that what you will. Like, let's not forget, Saka was with the squad for the Man City game and didn't play that one at all. But my gut feeling is that Saka starts. Postecoglou was asked about Maddison, and he said, Maddison is a lot worse than we first thought. It was bad the next day, and again into the new year with him. This was after a question about Van de Ven, and Postecoglou said that Van de Ven's probably out till the new year. So it looks like Maddison could be out for maybe 6 weeks, maybe more. So if you've got Maddison, he's a definite sell. Newcastle news: Wilson's going to be assessed. This was yesterday for his availability of Gameweek 12. No new injuries. Isak could return after the international break. Botman's had to go to Holland to see a specialist for his knee injury. So Lascelles looks nailed for now. He's a good move this week. Bit of Brentford news. Flekken went off at half-time last game week. He's available to face Liverpool on Sunday. I don't think there's anything else notable other than that. So if you've got Flekken, he's alright. But obviously he is away to Liverpool. So. And Brighton news. De Zerbi said he's not expecting Estupiñán, Dunk or Milner to feature in Sunday's clash against Sheffield United. The trio all picked up injuries in Thursday's win over Ajax. Really unfortunate, that one. Estupiñán looked like a really good pick this week. De Zerbi was saying he basically wanted to save him for the weekend. So he came off the bench in the Europa League, and then 13 minutes later he was back off injured. So, yeah, if you've got Estupiñán, unfortunately he's injured for this game week. As is Dunk, so I'm not even sure what the centre-back pairing will be. Van Heck and Webster, maybe? So, yeah, as a result, I've moved Archer to first on my bench, ahead of Tsimikas, actually. Mark says, do I start Højlund or Alvarez? I have Soufal on the bench. I would start Højlund this week. This week, Højlund, I think, yeah, he's got the better fixture, home to Luton. I'd give him the start. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets his first league goal this week. 13 minutes, S-Bam, 1-3. Yeah, it was like 12, 13 minutes. Brian says, why is Tsimikas on the bench? Yeah, we'll do a poll on this, because I'm interested to know what you guys think about Tsimikas. So last game week, obviously he was benched against Luton. Some have speculated that's because Luton are quite direct. They like their set pieces. They're very direct in terms of how they play, so that probably suited Gomez. And then Tsimikas got the start in the Europa League, and he had a really poor game. He made a massive mistake, which led directly to a Toulouse goal seconds afterwards. And then he was hooked off at half-time. Gomez did play the 90, to be fair, but Mbeumo, or Brentford I should say, are quite direct as well. They like their set pieces. So, do you guys think Tsimikas starts or not? For me, it's that doubt, which is why I'm starting Maguire. And Maguire has slightly better clean sheet odds as well, so I'm starting Maguire over Tsimikas for that reason. In terms of the captain poll though, 46% Salah, 30% Haaland, 8% Saka, 16% other. If you voted other, let us know in chat, who's your other? And I'll read through the others. Kishan says, how confident are you that Maguire starts? I'm pretty confident. I believe Evans has got an injury. So, Ten Hag, I guess, his only options are Maguire, Lindelof and Varane. Mickey's on cash captain. John Allen's Watkins captain. Official INZ is on Matoma. Zlatan in the chat, he's on Watkins. Lewis is on Bruno. A few Bruno captainers. A few Watkins. Ash is on Douglas Luiz captain. I don't hate the Bruno captaincy. I don't hate it. I was looking at the projected points before we went live, and Bruno's actually second there after Salah. So I don't hate the Bruno captaincy at all. Thanks, Shabada. Thank you very much. Oh no. Now we're down the wrong way. Ah dear, should have grabbed the water. Brendan's on Trippier captain. Yeah, let us know in chat. What do you think the Newcastle backline is going to be? Is it going to be Hall, Schär, Lascelles, Trippier? Or will it be Trippier, Schär, Lascelles and Livramento? What's the Newcastle back four going to be? Any Newcastle fans in the chat? John Allen says, is making FPL content a full-time job for you? As bad as the production quality is sometimes, I do this full-time. I'm a full-time FPL YouTuber, which is crazy. Like, I still have to pinch myself that this is my reality. It just passed the 3-year anniversary since I started this channel. And I originally started the channel just as something to keep me busy, back around when we were in lockdown in England. And yeah, back then I used to just get 1 or 2 stream viewers for weeks. So my first stream I just had 1 viewer, and it very slowly increased. But even after like 2-3 months, you know, I'd only get like 10 viewers per stream, and I was happy with that. I was like delighted to just have a little audience that would come every week. Yeah, I just loved streaming, really, talking FPL, because I've played for over a decade. So for me, it's just a passion anyway, and I never expected it to become anything. Yeah, and then the following season I decided to do videos as well as live streams, so that definitely helped with the growth, because videos really are key. It's difficult to grow a channel with just streams. So yeah, then I got to something like 20,000 subscribers just from the videos. And then like it all went crazy because I ended up hitting rank 1 as well. So it all kind of just lined up perfectly. Yeah, and then I got to the point where I was able to quit my job. So a pretty crazy couple of years, to be honest. Best few years of my life though. I feel like very, very fortunate to be able to do this, and I'm very, very grateful because it's completely like down to you guys. I wouldn't be here streaming and doing this for a living if it wasn't you guys watching videos and tuning into these streams. So I'm forever grateful for your support. Lewis has got Palmer in. Yeah, I'm looking at Palmer. Maybe I'll sell Gordon for him around Gameweek 16 when Chelsea's fixtures turn. Sakar says, does Flecken start? Yeah, Flecken's available, so I expect he does start. Nicola says, what did you do before? I worked in IT. Worked in IT for 7 years. They were like basically like an IT services company, like tech support for other companies. Team Alex says, we made you. You literally did make me. It is completely down to you guys. Although like you tune into my streams and watch my videos, it's like I wouldn't be here without the views. So it's completely down to you guys. I still get imposter syndrome about it. I think this is crazy, like why me? But here we are. Onwards and upwards. I'm always looking to improve videos and, you know, not just idle. So I appreciate that. Lots more to come on this channel. So if you want to support the channel and you're not subscribed, then make sure you hit subscribe, and of course like this stream if you're liking it so far. Virtual says Palmer saved my week. Yeah, fair play if you had Palmer last week. Fair play. What an end to the game week. I mean, it was kind of it summarised Game Week 11 perfectly, didn't it? That last match. Like 2 red cards. 4-1 to Chelsea. Kishan says, and here we are. The best FPL content provider. Thanks, Kishan. Lewis says, can I get your league code focal? I'll chuck in the chat. There is a link below for it. There we go. League code. Oh. Yeah, if you want to join my mini league, it's not too late. Your points start from Gameweek 1, so I've put the code in the chat. And there's a link in the description to auto join if you want to do it that way. Thanks, KSI. Jerry says, Does Zinchenko start? Yes or no? Yeah, good question. The problem with Zinchenko is he's not going to start regularly, so I would avoid him. I would avoid Zinchenko. If you already got him, I'd say you start him. He did play well against Sevilla, so I'm hoping he's on his way back to his best. Probably does start. Probably does. But that's the problem. Every week there's this headache that Tomiyasu could get a game ahead of him. So, yeah, I wouldn't be looking to buy him. If you have him, I'd start him. And maybe just start him until he gets to that point where he's getting benched regularly or every other week. Matt Rowe, are you heading to Arsenal today? I'm not. I'm going out in London with friends to celebrate my birthday. We've got this thing called Jury Duty booked. It's like a group game. I don't fully understand exactly how it works, but it looks really fun. So we're going to get a few drinks down us. And then I think the idea is you're all on like a jury duty panel and you have to work out like who's guilty of this crime. And it has like real actors and so on. So it sounds quite fun. So we'll be doing that and then heading out afterwards. Praco says, love the visuals, but why is the screen behind you a bit blurry? Behind me? Do you mean the team? It shouldn't be blurry. It should be 1080p. Is it blurry for you guys, or is the stream clear? Thanks, Joachim. Appreciate that. Thanks, Chris. Brendan says, thank you for telling me to keep Bowen last week. You saved me. His midfield is Bowen, Foden, Diaby, Son and Anderson. He's got 2 free transfers. Any suggestions? 1.6 mil. You could go Anderson to Gordon. I think that's a move that's pretty solid. I'm not sure if you can afford someone like Mbumo. I quite like Anderson to Gordon this week. He's in good form. He might even play striker this week, depending on Wilson's availability. And assuming Gordon's still playing regularly by Gameweek 18, he's got Luton away, which is that blank game week. Oh, good question. Leighton says, who's your 5 must-haves on a Gameweek 13 wildcard? I would have Salah, I would have Haaland, I would have Mbumo, I'd have Saka, and I'd have Saliba. Those would be my 5. Is your league private or public? Public, I guess. Like anyone with a code can join. The screen is fine. Tell them to check their resolution settings are set to 1080p. There you go. Make sure you got the stream on 1080p. I've got it on 1080p and it looks alright to me. Abdul says, thank you for telling me not to sell share last week. No problem. Fair play. I had Burn, and that was also part of the problem last week. Newcastle keep a clean sheet, but Burn goes off injured. So yeah, I haven't even talked about my transfers actually. So I've made 2 transfers. I had 2 free transfers. I had Botman and Burn. Obviously both injured, potentially long term. Burn definitely is. So I sold Botman for Saliba and Burn for Maguire, and I'm starting both. Feels like 2 pretty good moves this week. I'm replacing 2 injured players. They both got home fixtures. Both got good clean sheet odds. And Tsimikas drops to the bench. So, Tsimikas poll them. Does Tsimikas start? Yes or no? Get your votes in on that one. LeBone says, thank you for telling me to get Kudus. Worked a charm for me. Nice, fair play. Great goal he scored. Looks a great player. He's surely a regular starter now. Yeah, he's quality, Kudus. Shame we didn't end up at Brighton. Imagine what he would have been like at Brighton. But yeah, he looks a great player. Nice signing for West Ham. Birchall says, thoughts on Maguire or Lascelles? Yeah, this one's really relevant for my team. I looked at both of them. I was set on getting Saliba, so it was Maguire or Lascelles. For me, I ended up with Maguire for 2 reasons. One, he's got slightly better fixtures over the next 2, because obviously I want to bench Tsimikas when he's got City. So I can play Maguire for the next 2. The other reason was, it's a bit of a question mark when Botman's actually going to be back. Because transfers I make now, I'm thinking about blank game week 18 already. It's a while away, 23rd December. But transfers I make now, I need ideally to be playing in blank game week 18. And it's just a bit of a question mark if Lascelles will still be playing by then. He should be. But instead, I thought Maguire makes sense now, and then I can decide on Lascelles if we get more news, that's clear. Or maybe I'll go for Livramento if he's a regular starter. Oh, the team's not as sharp. Okay. I'll have a look at that after the stream. I wonder why that is. Maybe I've resized it by accident, and it's skewing the resolution a bit. I'll have a look at that. Thanks for the super chat, Dragovic. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you, Aaron, as well. He says, would you do Son for Bowen and Udogie for Saliba? It's yeah, good question. It's a bit risky selling Son, but I do get it. They've got Maddison out injured, Richarlison out injured for a while. Like, are they going to struggle collectively as a side? Romero's out for 3 games. Van der Ven's out till the new year. Udogie suspended. What do you guys think? How do you think Spurs will fare with all these issues they're suddenly faced with? I do get it. It's a bit risky, obviously, because Son's playing great still. You know, and he's got 3 decent games in his next 4. Wolves, Villa and West Ham. I think it's alright to do that for free. Not for a -4. I think for free that's alright. Like, you're taking a chance that Spurs struggle with all these injuries. And if that happens, then you're ahead of the curve, basically. So, yeah, I like those moves. David says, hopefully they do badly. John says, get out of Spurs, everyone. Flame says, happy birthday, Oscar. Best Maddison replacement under 8 mil. Under 8 mil, I'd say Bowen and then Mbumo, probably, in that order. Bowen and Mbumo. Bowen kind of makes sense first, because then you can look to bring in Mbumo game week 14. Simicast, sell or keep? I think he's alright to sell, just because he's a bit of a question mark now. I'm keeping him for now, and I'm hoping he's, you know, back and getting regular starts, because the fixtures are very good. That run of games there, Fulham home, Sheffield United away, Palace away, that's 3 nice fixtures, so I'm keeping for now, but I think it's perfectly fine to sell him. Thanks very much, John. Thanks, mate. Thanks for all your support and tuning into all these streams. I appreciate it. Do you think Reguilon will start? If I had to guess, I would say no. It could be Dalot left back, Wan-Bissaka right back. So poll results, does Simicast start? 52% yes, 48% no. Pretty divided. Jump the Wave is a good account to follow on Twitter. She gets predicted lineups from fans, and they were pretty divided as well. It was pretty much the same, like 50-50 on whether he starts. So yeah, that's why I'm starting Maguire. I'd rather just take that headache out of the equation and play Maguire. No Palace players. No Palace players in my team. Eze obviously back, 6.1 mil. He could be a nice option. Good fixtures. Palace defenders are good as well, to be fair. Elise is back. Too early to move for Elise, but that's a massive boost that he's back. Janega, thanks for the super chat. Start Palmer, Archer, or Simicast. He's got Mbumo as well. Ooh. See, I don't like playing someone who I'm not confident starts. So I feel like it's between Palmer and Archer. I'd probably give it to Palmer there, just about. And then Archer ahead of Simicast on the bench. That's what I've done anyway. I'd say Palmer. Razvan says, Son to Saka, is it worth it? Yeah, thanks for the 9 months, by the way, Razvan. We were just talking about Son and how Spurs are going to do without Maddison, without Richarlison. They're missing a lot of players. And I can see it. I do think it's an okay transfer. Yeah, it's one of those that could backfire, but I think it's okay if you want to take a chance that Spurs struggle with all these injuries. But he is playing as the number 9. What do you guys think? Would you do Son to Saka? I think I just about would. I'm expecting Saka to score more points over the next 4, basically. Yeah, it's a close one though. I expect Saka to start, personally. I think he starts. But yeah, ideally I'd look for another route to Saka if you can. Even says he wouldn't do that. John says he would. Brother says, does Saka even play? I expect he does. I think he does. I was watching the Champions League game and he was hobbling off when he went off, but the referee made him walk like the long way around the pitch. So I was watching him walk all the way around, and by the time he got all the way around, he wasn't even hobbling anymore. And there was a video doing the rounds on Twitter last night of the Arsenal team in the hotel, and Saka was there. No hobble at all. Oh, sorry, Steve. 2 seconds. Yeah, so Steve's asking about free hit Gameweek 18. I think that's a sound strategy. It really depends on how your team looks, though. I think if you can try to avoid free hitting, I think there's going to be better weeks later in the season to free hit. You know, generally I like to free hit in a double if I can, or if it's a bad blank then I might use it then. Because Game Week 18 we know who's going to blank, it's just 2 teams. So is that worth free hitting just because 2 teams don't play? I think if you can, manage your squad well enough between now and then with your transfers to get through it. I think it's fine though, because say you've got Haaland, Alvarez and Mbeumo, you're 3 players down. So you could, yeah, the logic's there, you free hit them out, you get them back, they probably double in 20. So you probably end up having more double Gameweek players than most. I'm personally not going to be free hitting 18. I'd like to save it. I think I could probably gain more later in the season. Pat says Maddison to Saka, Martinelli or Bowen, leaning towards Martinelli. If you can afford Saka, I'd go Saka. But yeah, I'd say in order from best to worst, Maddison replacements, Saka, Bowen, Martinelli. I think Saka's the best there. Triple captain Gameweek 20, 100%. So it would potentially be Man City home to Sheffield United and then home again to Brentford. I mean, that's got triple captain Haaland written all over it. Pro Player says he's got Flecken and Turner, 1 free transfer, any tips? I think Flecken should play. If you had 2 free transfers and nowhere to spend it, you could just downgrade Turner to Strakosha. So you've got both Brentford keepers. But this was the Flecken update. Mark Flecken is available to face Liverpool on Sunday. So I would just leave Flecken there. I probably wouldn't spend a keeper transfer. I would just keep hold of Flecken. Is Martinelli to Saka worth it for a -4? Definitely not for a -4. I'd say this week they're fairly even, Martinelli and Saka. There's a good chance that they score the same points, or Martinelli could even outscore Saka. It's 2 sideways, I would say. I know Saka has the potential penalties, like Ødegaard is a doubt for the game, but it's a bit sideways for me. Now, I haven't heard anything about Gabriel starting. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't start. He had that one benching against Sheffield United, but he'd played something like 9 games on the bounce. So I think that was the only reason that he was benched for that match. Which player is the best at FPL? Oh, good question. I mean, it's got to be Salah or Haaland. Who do you guys... Yeah, let's do a poll on that. Who do you think scores more points this season? Salah or Haaland? Or other? I mean, who's the other going to be? Is there anyone else that's even close? Get your votes in on that. Sujat says Lascelles or Maguire for this game week. So I had the same dilemma and I went Maguire. He's got the slightly better fixture. Slightly better fixture in game week 13 as well. Everton away. I suppose Chelsea home's not that bad for Newcastle. So I went Maguire personally, but I think Lascelles is great. Lascelles is a good move this week. Sam says Salah goes to the AFCON. That's a good point. He could miss like 3 game weeks. I don't think he'll miss too much, but yeah, it's a fair point. Fair point. That's a shame, by the way, because Salah's... I think he's had his second best ever start to an FPL season right now. I'd love to see him have one final crack at that record he set, 303 points. Thanks, Sean. Thanks very much, mate. Appreciate that. Thanks for the birthday messages. Saka to Gordon -4. Not for a -4. Definitely not. Saka's great this week. Happy birthday for yesterday, Bernardinho. Right, let's have a look at the scout selection. Let me know in chat, how many players have you got from the scout selection? This week, the scout selection is Raya in goal. Back 3, Trippier, Anderson, Tsimikas. In midfield, they've got Salah, Son, Martinelli, Diaby and Gordon. And then they've got Haaland captain and then Ferguson. How many players have you got from the scout selection? Bella's got 4. Thanks, Kazaka. Thanks, Immortal. Sam's got 3. Oh, Sam Vimes has got 3. Sam Chapman's got 7. Ben's got 5. I've got, let's see. I mean, I'm not starting Tsimikas, so I can't count him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for me. Dan's got 1, but he's top 125k. Good rank, that. What rank are you guys after Game Week 11? Let us know in chat. What's your rank at the moment? Yeah, I'll rate the Raya pick and goal. It's just a shame that he's got Brentford Game Week 13 because he can't play that one, so Ramsdale will play. But I suppose you could look at Raya from Game Week 14. Kieran's 40k, Andrew's 90k, 160k, 150k. Some good ranks in chat. 118k, 900k, 20k. Fair play. S. Willis is rank 1 in brackets in my mini league. 62k. Very nice, Marcus. You're doing well there. 3.8 mil, 980k. Top 5k. 100k. Virtual it says I don't want to talk about it. 63k for Josh. Very nice. It's been a tough season, so if you're already in the top, say, 300k, looking very good. Rank doubled last week. Yeah, last week was just brutal, wasn't it? We were talking about it earlier, like, some teams just scored a single point. Like, there was this one here. And they finished the game week with just 1 point. I mean, that's brutal. That's unbelievable. And then there's this team. George K. George-O-Matic FC from Australia. He's ranked 876 after Game Week 11. The only chip he's used is triple captain on Haaland. He's captained Haaland every single week. And he's not made a single transfer all season. Not a single transfer after 11 game weeks. And he's in the top 1k. Unbelievable. I'm guessing he's just like forgotten about his team because he's got a bench of Botman, Mings and Baptiste who are all injured. But yeah, that's crazy. But imagine being top 1k and just not making a transfer. It goes to show sometimes that doing nothing is the solution. Sometimes we overthink it and look for like the perfect move. We try and be clever, but sometimes just doing nothing is the answer. But obviously there's a lot of other teams out there that haven't made a transfer and their ranks probably nowhere near that, in the millions. But yeah, that's crazy. I suppose it's a numbers game. Like when there's 10+ million managers, there's always going to be a few that have a great rank that haven't made a transfer. Like someone's forgotten their login or something. Imagine if you forgot your login and like couldn't recover it and you're top 1k and you haven't made a transfer. Right, let's end that poll. Thank you for your vote. So 54% think Salah's going to score more points, the most points this season. 38% Haaland and 8% other. Who's actually on more points right now between Haaland and Salah? Haaland is on 80, Salah's on 85, so it's pretty close. Salah's 5 ahead, but he does have AFCON. I saw something cool from FPL Nutmeg the other day. Let me see if I can find it. It's like a points race. Where was it? Oh, here we go. Look, this is quite cool. It's like a live points race for the season by Gameweek. That's crazy that March was the top scorer at one point. And then it was Watkins. Watkins for 2 weeks. Salah moved ahead. And Haaland and Son were even. Oh, Haaland and Son are on 80. Interesting. So then it's Watkins and Bumo. Trippier, Bowen, Saka, Alvarez, Maddison. Thanks, Nixon. Marco says I can play 3 defenders. Maguire, Saliba, Colwill, Mitchell and Lascelles. Who do I play? I would play Saliba. I'd play Maguire. And then it's between Mitchell and Lascelles. Definitely wouldn't play Colwill. I'd probably give it to Mitchell. Maguire, Saliba, Mitchell. Haslam says, what do you think of McTominay versus Luton? It's a bit punty, McTominay. Yeah, it's definitely a fixture where he could do well, but I think it's a bit punty. I'd rather have Gordon, basically. Far better underlying numbers, play more attacking. I'd rather have Gordon for about the same price. I don't know how much McTominay actually is, but I think they're both around 5.5 mil. Matthew says, on that note, hit the like button. Yeah, if you're enjoying the stream so far, then make sure you like it. Appreciate you all being here for this deadline stream. Right, I've got a question for everyone in chat. Can you guess who the most transferred in player is this week? Most transferred in player heading into Gameweek 12. McTominay's 4A. Okay, that's cheaper than I thought actually. I thought it'd be over 5 mil. Maybe he started at 5 mil and then went down. Doku, Gordon, Doku, Bowen, Saka, Lascelles, Nketiah, Watkins, Doku, Jackson, Martinelli, Bowen. The answer is Jared Bowen, 616,000 transfers in. Then it's Doku, 514,000. Then it's Mitchell. Gordon's in 4th. Saliba, Son, Nketiah, Anderson. Right, can you guess the most transferred out player? Guesses in the chat. I'll just catch up on super chats. Matthew says he's got 2 free transfers. Need to use one. Areola, Cash, Trippier, Pedro, Saka, Son, Salah, Diaby, Bowen, Watkins, Darwin, Alvarez, Turner, Simicas, Taylor on the bench. Any ideas? It's a good team. Yeah, the only weak point really is João Pedro, but he's got Sheffield United at home, so do you sell him before that? Yeah, I'd either sell João Pedro or Turner. I can't see any other moves that are worth it. Like, you've got all the great players covered. You've got Saka, you've got Son, Salah, Diaby, Bowen. Watkins is great. You start Darwin over Alvarez. You wouldn't sell Alvarez, really, would you? So you have to sell João Pedro or Turner. I suppose if you're not going to play... Hang on, Pedro. Oh, Pedro Porro. Okay, I got you now. I wonder why you put him after Trippier. So if you've got enough in the bank, Pedro Porro to Saliba. Failing that, I would do Pedro Porro to Gabriel. That's what I would do. And then you play Cash, Trippier, and then an Arsenal defender. Yeah, that's what I would do, Matthew. Nice team. Obviously no Haaland, but nice team. Janega says Estupinan to Gabriel or Maguire and get an Arsenal defender Gameweek 14. I would go Gabriel. I think Gabriel's fine. He might be benched like 1 out of every 8 or something, but I think that's the sort of risk you can be willing to accept for that price. Like 4.8 mil route into the second best defence in the league in terms of expected goals conceded. I think Gabriel. So most transferred out: Udogie, Madison. A lot of Madison guesses. I'm guessing it was then. Let's see. Oh yeah, it was. Wow, let me refresh that. 1.6 million people have sold Madison. Burn 552,000. Romero, Erdegaard, Udogie, Haaland. Wow. I'm gonna put a poll up on Haaland. Do you own Haaland? Yes or no? Or if you're selling him this week, then put no. Thanks, Richard. Thanks, Keon. Just interrupted by adverts. Adverts? That adds on the stream. How do I turn that off? Did anyone else get adverts? How do I turn that off? Monetization. Choose how mid-rolls appear. What the hell? Sorry about the ads. Okay, well it should be alright now. I think that's a change YouTube have made. YouTube are making all sorts of like changes at the moment. Have you guys seen they've started blocking ad blockers? And I guess now they're chucking like mid-rolls into, or adverts into live streams. No ads on your end. Some of you got it. 3 ads? Are you serious? Sorry about that. I'll never have ads on the live streams. For obvious reasons. Because if you get an advert, then you just want to click off, don't you? Which is not what I want. So, thank you for those that stuck around. Especially after 3 adverts. Obviously, I have to have ads on my videos. Because like that's literally my source of income. But I don't like the idea of having them on live streams. But yeah, I do have to have them on videos because that's literally how YouTube pay you for like adverts on videos. But yeah, if you use an ad blocker, I forgive you. But yeah, the weird thing is they blocked like ad blockers. So people were saying, oh, that should like boost what you're earning, but it hasn't made any difference. But now less people or more people are seeing ads. But I think I've turned it off, so sorry if you got ads literally during the stream. That's crazy. Lascelles or Maguire. So I was looking at those two this week. I got Maguire. Better fixture this week. Probably a slightly better fixture in Game Week 13. And then it also saves me from a concern that Botman could be back by blank Game Week 18. And it also leaves the door open for Livramento, who I really like. I just want to see that he nails the spot down. Thanks, Pratiush. Appreciate that. Thank you. DRB captain. I think that's a bit rogue. Thanks, Tetrasonic. So 80% yes, they own Haaland. 20% no. I'm going to follow that up with another poll straight off the bat. This one's about chips. How many chips have you used? Wildcard included. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Thanks for the super chat. Dane Reed says, hi mate, happy birthday. Looking to use only one transfer. Son, Bowen or Bruno for either Gordon or Matoma. 2-week transfer, then to Mbumo. If it's 2 weeks... Probably Son. I don't know if any of those are upgrades though. That's the problem. I wouldn't sell Bowen. I wouldn't sell Bruno. He's home to Luton. Bruno's second on the projections as well this week. I wouldn't be selling Bruno. I wouldn't be selling Bowen because he's in good form. And it feels like Son Son, you can make a case for selling, but for Gordon or Matoma, it feels like that's barely an upgrade. If anything, downgrade. Like, Gordon's probably not an upgrade on Son. Son to Saka, I could see, but honestly, I appreciate the super chat, but I don't think I'd sell any of those this week. If it was going to be any of them, Son to Matoma, probably be the one. I wouldn't sell Bowen, wouldn't sell Bruno. Oh yeah, I should have put 0 as an option. Apologies to anyone that's not wildcarded yet. Steve, thanks for the £20 super sticker. Thank you so much for that, Steve. That's crazy. I think that's easily the biggest super chat I've ever had. So thank you for that, Steve. Thanks for your generosity. You didn't have to do that. Ahmed hasn't used any chips. Yeah, sorry to anyone that's not used a chip yet. I should have put that as an option on the poll. So 87% have used 1 chip, or 86%, still changing. 2%, 11% have used 2 chips, 1% have used 3, and 1% have used 4. Thanks, Jera. Appreciate that. Kyrill's also not used a chip yet. So if you haven't used a chip there yet, when are you wildcarding? Are you going for Gameweek 19? If you've still got your wildcard, then yeah, I think Gameweek 19 makes sense. Steve says no ad revenue, but you got to eat tonight. Thank you. Yeah, I'll definitely use that towards dinner tonight. Appreciate that. Thank you, Steve. Thanks for all the birthday messages. So yeah, Gameweek 19, a lot of them are using it Gameweek 19. Remain says, why Gameweek 19? I think I've got a fixture ticker somewhere here. Yeah, I do. This is sorted by difficulty over the next 8 game weeks. So this is also good for those of you that are curious to know who's got the best fixtures over the next 8. Newcastle are actually top. But to answer the question, why Gameweek 19? So you see here the Gameweek 18 column. Man City blank, Brentford blank. So what you could do, if you still have your wildcard, is you sell your Man City and Brentford players there, and then you wildcard them straight back in Gameweek 19, and they're predicted to have a double in Gameweek 20. The Premier League generally rearrange postponements at the earliest opportunity, and the reason that's a blank is because Man City have got the Club World Cup. So we're expecting City and Brentford to double in 20, which is only the week after Gameweek 19. So you could wildcard here and get, you know, Haaland, Alvarez, maybe a midfielder, maybe Doku if you want to punt. You're definitely getting Bumo. Maybe you get Flecken, something like that. So you'll have a massive edge when it comes to Gameweek 20. But obviously there's always a trade-off, and that trade-off is you're missing opportunities in the interim, right? Wildcard windows. But yeah, if you can manage your squad very well between now and then Gameweek 19 is a great wildcard week. Especially if we get that double in 20, which is expected or predicted. John says Oscar's going to be buying alcohol with that £20. I might do. Oh yeah, it might go towards beers, to be fair. Chris says, new poll, what takeaway will you spend your £20 on? My favourite at the moment is Peri Peri. What's your favourite takeaway, chat? What do you guys like to get when you're getting a takeaway? What's the best takeaway? Indian, Italian. What are the options? Indian, Italian, Chinese, other? Nando's, Chinese, pizza. Yes, if pizza's yours, then vote Italian. Any that saves cooking, says Emma. Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm a pretty lazy cook. Like, I'm not a fussy eater. My girlfriend gives me a lot of stick for it because I don't mind a microwave meal. I'm actually like alright when I cook something. Like, I can cook great meals, but because I'm not at all a fussy eater, I'm more than happy to have something basic. If that makes sense. Lebanese, sushi, Korean. Morning, National. How we doing? Brazilian, Burger King. Is Haaland your captain? Yeah, Haaland's my captain. Peri Peri, yeah, I love a Peri Peri. I got one 2 days ago actually, Peri Peri. Domino's. Domino's is a good shout. So, Indian's first on the poll. Then it's very close between Chinese and Indian. And then other. Got a broad taste in the stream today. Hugh likes a chippy. Can't go wrong with fish and chips, to be fair. I think I saw Beardy in the chat, so good to see you, mate. Welcome to the stream. What's the plans for your birthday? I'm heading into London this afternoon with my friends, and we're going to this thing called Jury Duty. It looks really fun. Yeah, it's like award-winning. I think you work as a group, and you have to work out like who's guilty of a crime. So it's like a fun group event. You get drunk while you play it. Yeah, it's got like 100 reviews, and literally all of them are 5-star. So we're doing that. And then going to bars afterwards. And then I found like you can do curling in London. Not like proper curling, but it looks really fun. This. Oh, that's a crap picture. Let me find a good one. And then we're going to this outside. You know, like this, where you have to try and get it on the target. So we'll have a few drinks in the bars around here. And yeah, and we've got 2 lanes booked. So you have to like slide it on the ice. It's not like the Olympics one where they've got the brush like. You just like do it freestanding, and then you have to try and get it on that target and knock others off. So we're doing that as well after jury duty, and then we'll just go to some bars in London. Then we're going to Camden. See you, Emma. Thanks for tuning in. Thoughts on punting on Trossard? The problem is with Trossard is Nketiah is back in training, so there's a chance that Trossard doesn't even start. This was from yesterday's training session. Nketiah back in training, so I would say avoid Trossard. It's a bit too risky. Eamon says, do you think Lascelles is a starter this week? Yeah, he'll definitely start. He should start for the foreseeable future, so he's great for 4 mil or 4.1 mil. Yeah, we might end up in Electric Ballroom, Greg. We may well end up there. Yeah, there's 8 of us out today. Not sure exactly where we end up, but yeah, we've got loads planned for the day. Chris says, is there a link for jury duty? It's jurygames.com. It's this. So I guess you like work in a group to solve like who's guilty of crimes and so on, and they have like real actors. So yeah, we've got like the whole show to ourselves, so it's going to be really fun, I think. I'll have to let you know on next week's stream if it's any good or not. Have you been to Africa? I have, yeah. When I was much younger, 18, 19, I volunteered with a charity and went to a couple of places in Africa with a charity called Kit Aid, and they basically redistribute mostly football kits to the underprivileged in Africa. So that was really eye-opening, actually. That was an unbelievable experience. Yeah, like when I went there, just even stuff like that, they were like incredible poverty, living in really basic accommodation like mud huts and stuff. And I remember they were just desperate for stuff like a plastic bottle that I'd finished drinking. And you know what I'm like, I love a snack, and I popped open like a tub of Pringles, and I was like the most popular man in the village. So yeah, I was dishing out Pringles, but yeah, it was unbelievable, like to see that firsthand. That was in Gambia. I've been to Botswana, South Africa. I forget the rest. I went another time as well, just for a safari. Craig, thanks for the super chat. Thanks, Craig. Appreciate that. But yeah, Kit Aid was the charity. You might have seen I went on Fpl Phillips' channel. He did like a game, and the money raised goes to a charity, and I picked Kit Aid for that again. Anyway. And Boosie says, never take life for granted, everyone. Well said. I agree with that completely. That really put everything in perspective at a very young age, that trip, I have to say. Question for you guys watching right now. Nobody got it last week. Get your guesses in. Who's going to be the top scorer of Gameweek 12? It was Doku. 22 points last game week. No one got it. Get your guesses in the chat. Who's going to be the top scorer this week? Oh, you're from Botswana as well. Yeah, Botswana was awesome. I've got some unbelievable photos on my phone from the safari. We saw like elephants up close, like leopards, giraffes. That was actually scary, like seeing a lion so up close, like meters away from. You're in like a jeep, and there's no doors or roof. You're just there, like in the jeep, and it's like meters away from you. A real like live lion or lions. Same with the elephants. But yeah, apparently they just don't see you as humans, even though you obviously there's like a group of humans dinner inside a jeep. But yeah, it was very scary but amazing. Guesses in the chat are Bowen, Son, Evan Ferguson, that's a good shout, Trossard, Bellegarde, Kudus, Watkins, Darwizzi, Douglas Luiz, Garnacho, Havertz 19 pointers says Derek, Martinelli, João Pedro, Haaland, Trippier, Salah, Bruno and Boomo. There's a few Ferguson guesses. I like the Ferguson guesses. Has anyone punted on Ferguson this week? Or only Ferguson owners? I'll check back and see if anyone got it. And if you are on our Discord, don't forget to get your guests in on the Discord channel as well. There's a roll up for grabs as a prize if you get that. Just under an hour till the deadline. Thank you all for tuning into the stream. If you have enjoyed it so far, make sure you subscribe if you're not already to support the channel. And of course, like the stream. Who are some key players to have on a wildcard this week? If I was on a wildcard this week, I would have Haaland, Salah, Saka, Mbumo, Saliba. Probably Colwell, and I'd have him on my bench for a few weeks because I really like Chelsea's fixtures from Gameweek 16. Who else would I have? Probably Gordon. I wouldn't have Turner anymore. You know, you could actually have Sanchez and Areola in goal. That works nicely because West Ham have got a nice run here, and then from like game week 18 it turns, but game week 16 Chelsea's fixtures turn. Maybe Areola and Sanchez rotation in goal. Any leaks? Let me check. I don't think we'll have any. Maybe closer to the deadline. It's Wolves v Spurs first kickoff, so there won't be anything of relevance there. It's going to be. I mean, we know Maddison's out, we know Van der Ven's out, Romero is suspended, Udogi suspended. No leaks. So if anyone missed it, I've made 2 transfers. I saw Botman and Burn, and I brought in Saliba and Maguire. I thought I may as well spend the extra on Saliba. I might still get Gabriel, but I just thought I'd go for the peace of mind of the starts. I think Gabriel's fine. Like, I think he was going to start pretty much all games. Maybe he misses one here and there. The schedule does get pretty mental in December. Like, in December, we've got 7 game weeks. Who's buzzing for December? 7 game weeks. So the fixtures for Arsenal 2nd, 5th, or the game weeks are on the 2nd, the 5th, the 9th, the 17th, and the 23rd, and the 28th, and the 31st. December's going to be awesome. Like, if you can string together 5 or 6 green arrows in those 7 game weeks, and in the space of a month, so much can happen for your team. Thanks, Pracker, and thanks for the birthday messages. Melvin as well, thank you for that. Appreciate that. Thank you all for being here. Thanks, Ragav. Start 2 out of Guehi, Diaby and Alvarez. Ooh. I think I'd start Diaby and Alvarez. Chase for the upside. Alvarez was unlucky to blank last game week. I would start Alvarez and Diaby. Kudu's top scorer, you reckon? Hayden says, Focal, Love your content. Your editing is superb. Happy birthday. Thank you, Ain. Appreciate that. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the lovely messages today. Right, I've got a game for you guys. We're going to play a little mini game. I'm going to show one of the biggest FPL scores of all time. You need to name the player that got that score, and bonus points if you can name the season. Here's the first one. Can you name the player and name the season? I got it right this time. I blurred out the name. Last week I blurred out the score. Amit says he's got 4.5 million in the bank. He's planning to move Tsimikas. Current defence is Gabriel, Gw12, Cash and Taylor. Who would you suggest? I would suggest Saliba. Tsimikas to Saliba, Amit. That makes the most sense to me. It does mean benching Gw12, but I think that's okay. You start Gabriel, you start Saliba, and you start Cash. And you can use the rest of that money for something else. You could go Trippier if you want, but I think go Saliba and then consider Trippier later. Giroud, Van Persie 2013, Henry 2008, Aubameyang, Sanchez 2013, Sanchez 16-17 season. Oh, has anyone got it? One person has got it. Albin, well played, you got it. Ash has got it as well. A few of you got it. A lot of you have got the player. It was Alexis Sanchez. What a player he was in FPL and at Arsenal before he went Man United. It was the 2015-16 season. He got 27 points in double Gameweek 34. 27 pointer. So if you triple captained him, is that 71? No, 81. Is that right? 81 points. Yeah, 81 points. Imagine triple captain is someone for 81 points. We'll do another one in a bit. I've got one more for you guys. One season wonder. Not having that. Not Sanchez. He was class for years. Will Almiron play striker today? And happy birthday. I think, thanks by the way, I think it's going to be Wilson, if not Gordon. It just depends if Wilson plays or not. But it won't, I don't think it'll be Almiron. There's probably going to be, it could be a front three of Gordon, Wilson, Almiron. If Almiron misses out, is he flagged? I've seen people predicting Livramento right wing. Is that actually a possibility? I know it happened in the Champions League, but is that actually a possibility this game week? As H says, happy birthday. Shall I play Maguire or Gw12? I have Cash and Gabriel in defence. Ooh. I actually think Maguire. I mean, let's have a look at the clean sheet odds. I think Maguire, gut feeling on that one. Clean sheet odds. Man United 45% chance. Crystal Palace 34. I think Maguire. I know like they had a terrible result in the Champions League. To be fair, Rashford got a red card. Was that a red card? Did any of you see it? Was that a red card or not? Do you think it was a red? Or was that a mistake by the ref? Thanks, Kieran. Flame says, Oscar, what's the biggest super chat you've ever had? It would be Steve. Steve in this stream with his £20 super chat. That's definitely a record. If you're still here, Steve, thank you so much again for that. You didn't have to do that, but I really appreciate the support. Even if you just tune into these streams and have never super chat ever, that's fine. I'm grateful for you all being here. Yeah, I'd start Maguire over Gw12. Marcus says it was a certain red. MH Gamer says it was a red. Clear red. Brazvan says ridiculous debate. Li1 says no way that's a red. Saka captain asks Ice Valley. I think the flag is enough to perhaps not risk it. I do think he starts though. And if he starts, he is definitely a good option for captaincy. The thing is as well though, it depends on Nketiah or Trossard. Nketiah, when he starts, it's generally detrimental to Martinelli and Saka. Whereas when it's Jesus and Trossard, then it's generally better for the wingers. And we just don't know either who starts up top. Because Nketiah's back in training, so there's a chance it could be Nketiah up top leading the line. So yeah, for that reason, I don't know if I'd captain Saka. Let's have a quick look at the Premier League Players Mini League. This is from my website, fpl.page, if you want to check it out. Fabian shares 41k overall. Treppier's 105k. James Justin's having another good season. Although he's not in the Premier League at the moment. He's come top 10k before, Justin. Ekdal's come top 1k before. He's having a good season, 123k. Ben Foster's 800k. Harvey White's 1.8 mil. I wonder if Ashley Phillips starts in centre-back this week with Romero and Van der Ven out. I wonder what this Spurs back four will be. Maybe Emerson centre-back, Davies left-back, and Dyer centre-back. I mean, Dyer's 4.2 mil. He should be set for a good run of games if you're looking for a cheap defender. But yeah, I went Maguire myself. John says, Oscar, be careful out in central London. 500,000 protesters expected. Oh wow, it's going to be a mad day if there's 500,000 people out protesting. What are they protesting? Is it the Israel-Palestine conflict? I think my mum messaged me about that actually. She said something about protests. I didn't realise it was 500,000 people though. God, it's going to be anarchy. Yeah, you're right, Nocturne Booty. The underground's going to be awful. First world problems. Complaining about the underground. They're protesting a ceasefire. Okay, got you. Oh yeah, it's going to be anarchy in London. We don't need to get the underground much though. We'd probably just get a few stops basically. Thanks, Tomosa. And Mbumo to Saka. I wouldn't sell Mbumo if I had him, personally. I think he's a hold. I think if anything, he's okay to transfer in this week, not out. I know he's got a couple of tough games, but I feel like Brentford might take a good game to Liverpool. And Liverpool are missing McAllister. I think Gravenberch is also a doubt with knee injury. So what's the midfield? Szoboszlai, Endo, Elliott? Or is Trent going to play defensive mid? Probably not. Do you watch price rise sites? Which one? I use fplstatistics.co.uk. That's the one I follow. It's free. It's riddled with ads, but it's free. Ahmed sold Mbumo to Saka and then Saka got flagged. My gut feeling is Saka starts. I think he starts. In case you missed it, he was spotted with the squad last night at the hotel. There's a video on Twitter recorded by Miss Melina, and she caught. I took a screenshot of it, which is what this is. Saka, he wasn't hobbling or anything. Big smile on his face. My gut feeling is he starts. I don't think it's anything like Man City, where he was a big question mark and he didn't play at all. But yeah, it's a good point of reference, that game, because he was with the squad then as well, and he didn't play. He wasn't actually in the squad, so it might not mean anything that he's with the squad. But I think he starts. Brian says, happy birthday, Oscar. Thanks, Brian, and thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate the long-time support. Thanks for everything, Brian, and your comments on my videos. Brian never lets me down. Every video he'll comment, thanks, Oscar. I'm starting to think you've got it like copied and pasted somewhere. You've got a note on your desktop. To save you a few seconds, you just copy paste, thanks, Oscar, thumbs up. And then I always like his comments and give him one back. Yeah, thanks, Brian. Good to see so many familiar names in the chat. I do read every comment. It's difficult in live streams to see every live stream message, but I do read every comment I still get in videos. His leg hidden by the door frame might be in a cast. I can confirm it wasn't. I watched the full video of him walking past and he's not in a cast. Any Liverpool team news? Does Tsimikas get benched? We did a poll on it earlier. 52% said he does. 48% said he doesn't. It's a difficult one. That's why I've started Maguire, just to save that headache. He was rested last game week, obviously. He started in Europa League on Thursday. He made a massive mistake that led to Toulouse scoring. He was brought off at half time. So yeah, I'm not sure. There's a chance it's Gomez. Clean sheet odds? Yeah, clean sheet odds are as follows. There you go. You're the kind of fella I'd be happy to see my daughter step out with when she's old enough at 25. Thanks, Marcus. Appreciate that. Thank you. I'm too old for her, though. And I've got a girlfriend. I should have said that first. Saka or Bruno? Saka. And Boozy's got no Arsenal assets. How many Arsenal assets have you guys got? I've got 2 now, after getting Saliba this week. Who's this Oscar player? I'm the Oscar player. I've got a theoretical question for you guys. If you were a nailed starter for a Premier League team, for all 38 game weeks, how many points do you finish the season on? So you're a nailed Premier League player for a team. You play in all 38 game weeks. How many points do you finish the season on? Do you get any attacking returns? Or are you a 2 point per week kind of player? Minus 12. Leanne's got 3 including Raya. Very nice. Looking good for this week. 38 points. An average of 1 per game week. Walter reckons he'd get at least 180 points. 140. Minus 50. 15 red cards. 2 per game week. I think I'd get 2 per game week as well. I might get 1 jammy assist at some point. Thanks, dear Ev. 250 points, you reckon? Alright, what would your price be if you were an FPL? What would they price you at? I'd have to be a 4.5 mil midfielder if I was an FPL. And that's because it doesn't go any lower. I do play football regularly, but I'd be so out of my depth in the Premier League. I would be an absolute 2 point per game week merchant. You'd be 7.5 mil. Is the FPL site down? Let me check. No, it's alright for me. 7 mil midfielder. Oh, you know what? I'm going to take this opportunity. If you go to fpl.page, scroll down, you'll see custom kits there just behind me. Click that, and you can make your own custom kits. So you could be like Team Arsenal. I even added AFC Richmond from Ted Lasso, Arsenal, and you can add your price below. Oh, some of the kits are messed up. I have to look into that. 4.5. Triple captain. And then you can like download it or make it a profile picture or banner photo for like Twitter or Instagram or whatever you want to use it on. So fpl.page, that's my website. It's all completely free. Forever. Shout out to Andres, the guy that I'm working on the website with. We've actually got an update coming this weekend. We're going to add a set piece takers widget to the website. So free kicks, penalties, corners, and then it's going to also include notes for every team about set piece takers. Thanks, Chewy. Thanks very much, mate. Novus, thanks for the 13 months as well. Appreciate that. Thanks very much for your support, Novus. Which midfielder for under 8 mil? Asked Khaled. Bowen or Mbumo? Those are the two. Bowen or Mbumo. That's why you're the best. Thanks, Walter. Appreciate that. Thanks, Devon. Thanks for all the birthday messages. I probably missed a few, so sorry if I did, but thank you for everyone for those messages. Right, I'll need to take a screenshot of my team and post that on Twitter. If anyone's on Twitter still, tag me in a photo. Take a photo of wherever you're watching the stream from around the world and I'll retweet it. There we go. Gameweek 12. What did I do? Botman plus Burn. Saliba and Maguire. What did you do? Or can I make this a bit tidy with the arrows? There we go. Like that. That's a bit better, isn't it? Botman and Burn, Saliba and Maguire. Haaland captain. Is that the right decision? Nova says, hi, what do you think about Anderson? I think he's 5 mil now, isn't he? I don't know if he's worth the 0.4 mil over Guehi or Mitchell. That's basically my thoughts on him. I don't know if I would be buying him for 5 mil, personally. I think I'd rather just get Mitchell or Guehi. When are you getting married, Oscar? Oh, it's too early to say. Too early to say. Me and my girlfriend have actually started looking at houses. We have had one viewing. We've looked at one place, but we're way off marriage, I'll put it that way. One day. Yeah, I think I'd go for Mitchell or Guehi if I was getting a Palace defender. Any news on Saka? Not much, to be honest. He was spotted with the squad. Might not mean much, but he's been seen with the squad. That's about all we know. Arteta was obviously, as usual, useless in his presser. He said we'll have to see how he looks and all that, and we'll make a decision on the day. The usual Arteta vagueness that we've come to familiarise ourselves with. Thanks, Noctambuli. Thanks, Elias, sorry. Team news, please, Focal. Yeah, I'll do a run through the news again in case anyone missed it. I'll run through it quicker this time. The Arsenal news was Nketiah has been seen in training. No Saka or Odegaard in training. Arteta was asked about Saka and he said he didn't train yesterday. Let's see if he can make it tomorrow. Saka was then seen at the hotel with the Arsenal squad. Whether that means he's actually in the squad or not, still up for a question, but I think he starts personally. Tottenham news. Maddison is worse than they first thought. It was bad the next day, said Postecoglou, and he's likely to be out till the new year. Newcastle news. Wilson's going to be assessed. This was yesterday. And a decision to make on his availability for Gameweek 12. No other new injuries after the defeat to Dortmund in the Champions League. Mark Flecken is available to face Liverpool on Sunday, so that's good news if you own Flecken. Brighton news. Estupiñán, Dunk and Milner all picked up injuries in the Europa League, so they are not going to feature in the game against Sheffield United this game week. And that's the news roundup. FC8 Sean, thanks for the 5 gifted membership. Good to see you back in the chat, Sean. And welcome to the new members. If you are a member or just became one, don't forget to link your Discord account. If you go into Discord settings, under connections, you can log into your YouTube account. And then in the Fpl Focal server, you'll automatically see the members channel, where I post videos early. I'm chatting in there. So if you want to become a member, use the join button below the stream or link below. There's also a Patreon version to support the channel, and you get a few perks like a badge by your name, and as I say, the early access to videos, the members channel, the members league. As H says, thanks a lot for your fantastic effort. Keep it up. You are the best. Thank you, Az. Thanks very much for that, Az. Appreciate that. Very kind words in this stream today. Appreciate all the nice words. And Garion says, I took Bruno Fernandes over Gordon. I think that's fine. I think Bruno's great for the next two. Luton home. Like, looking at the projected points this week, Bruno's second after Salah on FPL review. So I think Bruno's fine. Obviously, they're completely different price points, Bruno and Gordon, but yeah, Bruno's fine. Yeah, I don't hate that at all, picking up Bruno this week. Thanks, Blaze. Danny's gone Bruno as well. Guehi or Mitchell. Those two are dead even, to be honest with you. Dead even. Probably Mitchell. But don't expect him to score every week. Like, last game week was his second league goal of his career. Thomas says, flashback to when Oscar was rank 1. Good times. Those were the days. The glory days. Mitchie says, we love you, Oscar. Many more years to come, mate. Thanks, Mitchie. Yeah, I hope to do this for many, many more years. So, again, as I said at the start of the stream, it wouldn't be possible without you guys watching the streams and videos. So, I'm forever in your debt. So, I'm very grateful for you watching these streams and my videos every week. It's completely because of you guys that I'm able to do videos every week. So, thank you so much for that. Captain poll. Yeah, let's do a captain poll. It's kind of hard to pin down the top 3. I guess we'll go Haaland, Salah. Who's the third best though? Saka, Watkins, Son, Bruno. I'll put Saka and then I'll put other. So if you go other, let us know in chat who's your other. S. Willis says, a leaked Arsenal team would be a godsend right now. That would be. I don't know if we'll get one. I do think Saka starts. It was just like an awkward landing. He was hobbling a little bit. He looked alright by the time he was off the pitch. My gut feeling is he'll be alright. I'll keep an eye out in case there's any leaks, but I doubt we'll get anything on Arsenal and who starts and so on. What transfers did you guys make this week? What have you done this week, if anything, or have you rolled? Jake's got Rashford. You know what? I actually don't mind Rashford this week. He's got a point to prove after that red card. It's a great fixture. I think Rashford's going to do well this week. Gut feeling, I think Rashford's good. Bruno as well. I think they beat Luton pretty comfortably. I mean, not just Rashford. Man United have got a point to prove. Cotter's sold Kabore for Maguire. Neville rolled. Elsbieta says, wow, great timers and feed on the left. Yeah, thank you. I did a little fixture ticker that goes along the bottom of the stream. I've got a deadline countdown now, projected points, and transfer trends in the last 24 hours. So yeah, Maddison is in free fall in terms of his transfers. He's gone down 2.6% in the last day. A few people have brought Livramento in. Will Wan-Bissaka start? I expect he starts. I believe he should, yeah. They look a lot better with Wan-Bissaka and right back, I have to say, so I'd be very surprised if he doesn't. Manprit's got 2 free transfers. Should I do Taylor to Maguire or burn a transfer? Yeah, I like Taylor to Maguire. I like that. I think that's better than burning. Yeah, I would do that. Taylor to Maguire. Sets you up a little bit better as well for the blank in 18. Clean sheet odds. Clean sheet odds are here. And then right after this, we're going to do the second round of the mini game. So stick around for that. Coming right up after the clean sheet odds. Eze or Gordon? Oh, close one, but I'd say Gordon. He might even play striker this week. Depends on Wilson. Thomas with the Spurs profile picture says, what football team do you support? I'm an Arsenal fan. Who do you guys support? Who's your team? Do you support any Premier League teams or do you support another league? Let us know in chat. Who's your team? Chelsea, Newcastle, West Brom, Fulham, Motherwell. Thanks, Venus. Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United, Roma, Stevenage, Man U, Sunderland, San Marino. Adam in the chat. Good to see Adam in the chat. Remember earlier in the stream I was saying when I first started my channel I was streaming to just one person. That one person was Adam. And if it wasn't for Adam I wouldn't have come back and done more streams. It was literally just me talking to Adam for 3 hours on my first ever stream. So shout out to Adam for tuning into my first ever stream. And he's still here. He still comes. He still swings by once in a while. And he's a moderator on the stream. Shout out to you, Adam. Okay, I've got a follow-up question for that then. So that's who you support. Is there a team that you hate? Which team do you despise? Is there any teams that just rub you the wrong way, or you don't like a lot of their players or rivals? Which teams do you not like or hate? You hate City, you hate Chelsea, you hate Liverpool, Leeds. And you know what? I asked my brother this question and he also said Leeds. Man U. A lot of people hate Man U. Sean hates Barca. Tottenham. A lot of people hate Man United. Why is that? Why is Man United so hated? Can't stand Rangers. PSG. Evan hates Inter Milan. Hates Spurs. You hate Inter Miami. Okay. You hate your Rankulars. A lot of people hate Man U. Wow, I didn't expect that. That was by far the biggest answer there. Right, let's get to that mini game then. So, I'm going to show you one of the biggest FPL scores of all time. You need to name the player and bonus points if you can name the season that they got this score. This is a test to see who's not a recent Newcastle fan since the takeover. Who's that player? They scored 25 points. Can you guess who the player is? And bonus points if you can guess the season. Morning, Brendan. How we doing, mate? Oh, Cisse. Ayoze Perez, Wijnaldum, Demba Ba, Shearer, Alan Shearer. Oh, a few people know their FPL history. Quite a few have got it. Quite a few have got it. Demba Ba's a good guess, but it's not Demba Ba. Ben Arthur's a good guess as well. It's not Ben Arthur. It's not Shelvey. It was Jorginho Wijnaldum. And this was in the 2015-16 season. The season that Leicester won the league, actually. He was a winger back then. He scored 4 goals in Gameweek 8. 4 goals in Gameweek 8. I can't remember who it was against. I think Norwich. It tends to be Norwich in a lot of these, actually. Sadly, if you're a Norwich fan. It seems a lot of the biggest scores are achieved against Norwich. Like, we had Suarez last week or the week before. And he got like 4 goals, 1 assist against Norwich. Oh, is it Sunderland? Okay. Was it Norwich? Matt says it was Sunderland. So, Captain Poll results, with just over 20 minutes till deadline, are as follows. Salah 47%, Haaland 30%, Saka 8%, 15% other. It's a spicy week for captaincy. Did you guys watch the experts video yesterday? That was very, very spread. I think the most spread it's been all season. There was I think 7 or 8 captains in the experts league. Salah was top, and then it was Haaland, then Saka. So the same as that poll, actually. Kevin Nolan, that's a throwback. Pratik says, what team do you hate, Oscar? Kill it this game week. As an Arsenal fan, it has to be Spurs. I would say Chelsea as well. I don't like Chelsea, but my family all support Chelsea, and I'm Arsenal. So perhaps I don't hate them as much because my family all support them. But don't get me wrong, I don't mind how much they're struggling right now. Same for Man United. But my answer would be Spurs. They have got some more likeable players than past years. Like Romero, obviously, he's an easy one to hate. Okay, I've got a question for you then. What players do you hate from the Premier League or other leagues? Are there any players that you can't stand? Matt says, what do we think of Tottenham? You tell me. Bruno. Oh yeah, but everyone hates Bruno, don't they? Everyone's saying Bruno. Diego Costa. Yeah, he was... Yeah, I hated Diego Costa back in the day. Good FPL option. I had him in my team. Everyone says the last good striker that Chelsea had was Drogba, but that's not true. Diego Costa. Robertson. You know, it's funny, these players like Robertson, Bruno, people hate them, but when it's your team, you love them. You're like, he's our guy. I was going to use another word instead of guy then. That began with C. I'll probably get demonetized if I dropped it. Anthony. Oh, wait, Anthony's a good one. Everyone hates Anthony. I'm not even sure Man United fans like Anthony. Neymar. Suarez. I saw Suarez got a hat-trick in like 16 minutes off the bench a couple of days ago. Is it for Gremio? I think he's going to Inter Miami to reunite with Messi. You hate Gordon? I don't mind Gordon because he's been doing well for me since I got him on the wildcard. I'm coming around to Gordon. Anthony Michael Gordon. What a player. Ronaldo. Bruno the Rat. I'm surprised people haven't said Rudiger. You loved him if you're a Chelsea fan, but he's hated by anyone else. United. Dennis for that double. Yeah, never forget. Never forget that double game week. Right, new poll. How many hits have you taken this season? Current game week included. So the options are none, 1, 2, or 3 or more. Chuck your votes in on that. How many hits have you taken this season? Zuma. Yeah, Zuma's a fair one. Don't even start on the Dennis double. Brother types fast. I do type fast. Do you remember I did that on that stream one time? I got up a typing test. I don't know if I should do that again. That was very tense. I was sweating after that. FPL1 says best Neto replacement. Gordon Johnson, Elise, Palmer. He's only got 5.7 mil, so I'd need to take a hit. Second transfer. Turner to Strakosha or Saka to Martinelli. I would go Gordon out of those. Gordon or then Palmer. How much is Gordon? Has he gone up? I don't know if he's worth a hit though. No, he's 5.7 mil. I'd just get Gordon. Don't take the hit. I wouldn't sell Turner to Strakosha to fund it or Saka to Martinelli personally. I would get Gordon, who's 5.7 mil. Or if you can afford Palmer in one, then Palmer. He went up to 5.8. Did he? It says 5.7 on mine. Has he gone up? Let me refresh. Oh, that's weird. That's the first ever price change at 11:15 in the morning, apparently. Okay, well, I'd go Palmer. I don't think I'd take a hit for Gordon. I'd just get Palmer. Thanks, Luca. Arsenal news. There's not been much. Nketiah is back in training. Saka and Ødegaard weren't seen in training. Arteta basically said they're going to make a late decision on Saka. He was seen with the squad at the hotel. Not limping or anything. I think Saka starts. But yeah, we haven't had much news really. Sorry, did I miss a super chat? Let me find that. I don't see it. Any news on Ødegaard? No, all we've had is that he wasn't in training. And earlier in the week, Arteta said that Ødegaard and Nketiah are fighting against the clock to be available. Now, Nketiah has since been seen in training. Ødegaard hasn't. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm caught up there. So, yeah, it's a bit vague as far as Ødegaard. Yeah, mine said 5.7 for some reason. In that, I've refreshed and it's 5.8. So, yeah, he went up. How many hits have he taken this season? 32% haven't taken any. I'm still yet to take one, actually. 30% have taken 1, 19% 2, 20% have taken 3 or more. Nketiah Alvarez. Luke says, probably the only person thinking this, but Saka in for Maddison or get Palmer. I think a lot of people are thinking Saka in for Maddison, and I would definitely do that if I could afford it. John says, Oscar, can you have a guest on your stream one day? Yelena would be great. You know what? I've thought this before. I think it'd actually be great to have someone join me on the streams. But yeah, I don't know who I'd ask. I suppose I could ask Yelena. Yeah, it'd be good to have a guest on the stream, just to, like, someone to bounce off. I've got used to it now, but it's definitely harder than you think, talking for 2 straight hours when you haven't actually got someone to, like, verbally bounce off, if that makes sense. But it's great when you have all these questions in chat, because I can constantly just read it. And Chris says, I'll join Oscar, mate. Maybe we could get a member on. How about that? Get a channel member on. Lyco wants to be on the stream. Get the girlfriend on. She would never agree to it. She would never agree to come on a stream. I know what she's like, and it'd be her worst nightmare. Like, knowing that there's almost 2,000 watching right now, I think she'd have a panic attack. I'll be honest, I used to get, like, pretty anxious about it. I'd look at the number and I'd be like, oh my god. Like, if I was in a room of 1,700 people right now, I think I'd be very nervous. But yeah, it's a bit easier when it's just a number below the stream. But it's crazy, like right now there's almost 2,000 people around the world watching this. So thank you for that. Thank you for tuning in to this deadline stream. Is she shy? Yeah, I'd say she's maybe not shy. She's like really clever, but maybe like a bit introverted. You know what? So I was speaking to her yesterday, and she said she's trying to play FPL this season, and she said, Burns injured. Who shall I sell him for? So then I said, you could get Lascelles or Maguire. Like, they're 2 good options. And then she bought Tarkowski straight away. So, yeah, doesn't listen to me. But congrats in advance to the Tarkowski owners, if any are watching right now, because he's probably going to score, keep a clean sheet. Tatenda says, seems like most creators are struggling this season. Yeah, it's been a really weird season. Like, I don't feel like any decisions I've made I'm unhappy with. Personally, it's just been a difficult season to predict where the points are coming from. Like, Man United are massively underperformed. Yeah, why do you guys think that is? It's a tough season. It's a tough season. I think it's the toughest I've ever played. Like, this point last season, I was about 100k. Yeah, it's a tough season. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it's because players with like Man United are underperforming. Hard to say though. I think a lot of people didn't start the season with Salah, myself included. I had Man United at the start of the season. I had Bruno and Rashford because they had Wolves at home, Spurs away, Forest at home. I feel like those opening 3 were worth it, so I doubled up. And obviously Man United mids have been terrible. Fpl Juice show. Happy birthday from the Juice and Streamception. Thank you very much, guys. Shout out to all the people over at the Fpl Juice show. Hope you're having a good Streamception. If you guys are still live after the deadline, we'll come over to you guys. So yeah, stay live once we hit 11 o'clock. We'll come over and say hi. Why is Simicast on your bench? The problem is, like, who would I start him ahead of? The only one I'd consider is Maguire. But Man United have got better clean sheet odds. And Maguire we at least expect to start, whereas Simicast is a bit up in the air. Obviously, his bench last game week. He started in the Europa League, made a massive mistake, which led to Toulouse scoring. So does he start? What do you guys think? Are you guys finishing at 11? Ash, or whoever's in chat from Juice. Trippier captain worth the risk? I don't know if I would go there. It's just a question mark about where does he play? Like, is he going to be in right back, or does Livramento play right back and Trippier left back? I would argue that Trippier's upside diminishes if he's playing in left back. It could be Hall in left back, Trippier right back. In terms of projected points, he's not even in the top 10 or so. But Haaland isn't either, to be fair. I've just got a gut feeling about Haaland. So yeah, I don't know if I'd go there. Bruno and Rashford actually second, joint second, and Son. Martinelli and Saka, Watkins, Ferguson, Mitoma, Trent and White. Do you think Watkins is a sell next week? I don't think so. I think you keep him for the next 3. Like, who do you sell him for? Realistically, who do you sell him for? Like, Alvarez and Nunez play one another. So where would you go if you were selling Watkins next week? I think you just keep him for the next 3. A few people saying they're having issues on the website. Is anyone else able? I mean, I'm alright on the website. I'm getting through fine. Unless people aren't being able to make transfers. Hanlon, thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the €10 super chat. Thank you so much for that, Hanlon. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's very generous. Yeah, thanks again for all the birthday messages on the stream today. It's been a good stream. Sorry about the bloody adverts earlier. I can't believe that. Like, YouTube have rolled out a few updates recently. Like, they're blocking ad blockers and they're adding adverts during streams. I've worked out how to switch that off though during the stream, so shouldn't ever get those again. Yeah, thanks again for that, Handem. Thanks for the support. Thanks, Harry. It's going to be a good weekend. Birthday weekend, going out in London. I'm actually going to miss most of the games today, but tomorrow I'll be watching all of the games. Alright, perfect, Juice. Perfect, boys. No leaks. No, we've not had any leaks, actually. Start Lascelles or Alvarez? I would start Alvarez. Go for the upside player. Lascelles, his ceiling is a clean sheet. Might get bonus like last week, but Alvarez, you know, we know his ceiling's much higher. So I would start Alvarez out of those 2. Yeah, hoping for a birthday green arrow. Yeah, so for those asking about my transfers, I had Burn and Botman. Last week was just a nightmare. Botman was already injured, obviously, but I had Burn, who went off injured at half time, and Newcastle kept a clean sheet. So that was just unfortunate. So I've sold Botman and Burn, and I've bought Saliba and Maguire. The thinking is, Saliba's great, set and forget, nailed. Maguire's good for the next 2. Game week 13, Tsimikas is away to Man City. So I'll start Maguire, who's away to Everton. At least has a better chance of a clean sheet there. I'm not even sure if Tsimikas plays against City or not. It could be Gomez and left back. So that's why I did that. And it buys me time to assess Newcastle. Lascelles might be the one if Botman's still out beyond game week 18. But if Livramento or Hall look nailed, then I'm open to those as well. So yeah, that was what I did. Saliba and Maguire in. Thanks FPL Fred for the super chat, and he says happy birthday, man. Thanks for that, Fred. Matthew says I've put my big boy pants on and I've captained Bruno Fernandes. Big shout. Reno says love from South Africa, Oscar. Thanks, Reno. Rao reckons City don't score against Chelsea. You reckon? I mean, I haven't actually looked at the goal. Oh, I haven't looked at the goal scorer odds at all. Here's how they look for this week, for those that are interested. Haaland's top, 51.5% chance of scoring. And then it's Salah, Wilson. This assumes that the player starts, which might not happen, of course. Wilson in third, and Nketiah, Saka, Ferguson, actually all tied there. Rashford, Darwin, Watkins, Jota, Mitoma, Højlund, Son, Bruno and Martinelli. Captain poll. Do you guys want a final captain poll or any other polls to do? We've got just under 2,000 tuned in, so we could get a final look at the captaincy for this game week. Who is your locked-in captain for game week 12? I'm going to mix the order up as well. Make sure it's not bots. Salah. Oh, I've got caps lock on. Salah, Haaland and other. So make sure you message in the chat if you vote for other. Bang. That is the final captain poll for the game week. Get your votes in. As many votes as possible. Let us know who your captain is on that poll in the chat window on the stream. Mike's on Watkins captain. Yeah, again, Watkins, like, great. Like, Villa on a run of like 12 wins on the bounce at home, I think. Something like that. I think he scored... No. Yeah, Villa have scored more goals at home than any team this season. So yeah, Watkins is great actually. I could have included him instead of Saka. That TPS player is on Saka as well. Bonnie's on Bruno. LAC's on Martinelli captain. So Chef Cardo FPL. Jamie D's on Darwin. Bippin's on Hoyland. Top 4 Oo is on Ferguson. He says Ferguson's my choice all the way. Jerry Sang captain Bruno. Quite a few Bruno captainers. Awesome differential, Bruno. Benjamin's on Ireland. Captain Bowen. Haaland, Bruno. Flame says, can't believe no one's on Haaland. In my opinion, such a good pick. Yeah, I think it's close between Salah and Haaland. I think a lot of people are overlooking Haaland because of the 1-pointer. People will look at last week's points and thinks, and maybe subconsciously that can affect your decision making. But had he stayed on the pitch, he likely would have been involved in the goals. Like, they scored a further 3 without Haaland. So let's imagine Haaland plays the 90 as he often does last game week. And let's imagine he scores even just 1 goal. I think suddenly everyone's like, oh yeah, Haaland. But it feels like he's suddenly not obvious. He's top of the goal scorer odds. Fellow Scorpio. Shout out to all the Scorpios. Thanks, Manan. Bench 1, Visser or Van Heck? I think I'd go Visser. He's got the upside. Do Brighton keep a clean sheet with Stupinan and Dunk out injured? Perhaps not. Sheffield United a win last game week. Archer scored a brilliant goal. I've even got Archer ahead of Simicast on my bench actually. Thanks, iClark. Start Saka or Darwin? Oh, you've got to start both, haven't you? I'd start Saka though if I had to pick one. HBVN says FPL's down. It's still working for me. Yeah, still working for me. But yeah, final reminder, 4 minutes till deadline. Make sure you get your transfers done if you haven't already. Make sure your captain's sorted. Yeah, the website's okay for me. Arsenal news, Nketiah is back in training. Saka and Odegaard weren't seen in training. Saka was seen with the squad though. Not much news besides that. Arteta said he's going to make a decision on Saka. My gut feeling is Saka plays. That's my gut feeling, that he starts. So, final captain poll results. 48% Salah, 27% Haaland, 10% Saka, 16% other. Stefan says, bring in Saka for a -4. It depends who you're selling though. It's difficult to answer that. If you're selling Maddison, then that's worth it in my opinion. That hit's going to be repaid because Maddison's out potentially till the new year. But yeah, it's hard to answer, Stefan, without knowing who you'd be selling there. If you're selling someone injured or someone that has a really bad fixture, I think you could make the case for someone like Sterling to Saka, for example, because he's got City. Capital says Walker or Maguire. Maguire, I'd say, just about. Maguire, yeah. Appanator says Saka could also be out, wouldn't bring him in for a hit. Appanator, question. Are you the same Appo that's top of the Experts League? 3.3k, right? Overall rank. Or have we got 2 Appanators? I think it is you, right? He's having a stellar season. He's 3.3k at the moment. It is him. Yeah, fair play, mate. What a season you're having. What a season you're having so far. Stefan asks, Son to Saka. This is a really difficult one because we have to predict how Spurs are going to look without Maddison, without Richarlison. I think it's okay to do. It's a bit risky. Like, Spurs have got Wolves, Villa, West Ham in their next 4. But I think it's okay to do. I do think Saka scores more than Son over the next 4. So I think that's okay to do. Yeah, Ryan says pro in the chat. Yeah, he's top of the experts league. So, for anyone that missed it, I sold Botman and Burn for Saliba and Maguire. That's my 2 transfers, so I'm locked in. Haaland captain for me, Salah vice. Yeah, I guess at the back of my head as well, besides the points I made about Haaland, is Liverpool haven't got McAllister, Gravenberch is a doubt of a knee injury. They've got a couple of players missing. It could be a midfield of like Endo, Szoboszlai, Harvey Elliott, something like that. I think Brentford might give them a game. Could be wrong on that. We'll have to see what happens. But you know, and if Trent ends up inverting in centre mid, then we'll see the box midfield, and that could lead to Salah playing wider. It just felt like a bit of an opportunity. I think a lot of people are overlooking Haaland, so Haaland captain for me. But we'll have to see. I think they are close this week. Appinator says, always tuning into your streams. Keep up the good work. Thanks, mate. Keep up the good season, mate. 3.3k overall rank. Having a stellar season. Bella says, Darden. Plankton says, deadline is over. Thanks, DJ Music Ace. Riceman says, locked. Matty Footy in the chat. How we doing? Deadline, he says. Deadline. Flame says, deadline. That is it. That is 11 o'clock UK time. That is the deadline. Locked in for Gameweek 12. There's no way. There's no way it goes as bad as last game week for us, right? You know what's crazy? The average last game week was, what, like 30? I reckon the average is going to be significantly more this week. Thanks again for all the birthday messages today. Really appreciate it. Thanks for all your support. It's been a good stream. Really enjoyed it. So thanks for being here. Before you all disappear, if you enjoyed the stream, then hit like on it. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, then make sure you hit subscribe. Yeah, I think what we'll do next, we'll head over to FPL Juice's stream. We promised them that we'd go over and send them our love. So, here they are. Head over to their stream and spam Focal Raid in their chat. Send them my love. Go show them support. Show the FPL Juice guys some love. They do really good content. They're like one of the only actual FPL streams and shows that are in a studio. So everyone head over to there. I'll see you over at the Juice stream. Thanks again. Thanks very much for the birthday messages. Enjoy the game week. Enjoy the weekend. And I will see you all next week. Focal out.